So good morning all of you. Today we will discuss about the surface anatomy and radiology of head and neck. First of all, we all know the head and neck region is an important role in protection, spatial senses and the movement. It can be divided into the head, which we will know the neurocranium and the viscerocranium. We know the neurocranium is the brain case and the viscerocranium is the facial skeleton, and also the neck region. The components of head and neck includes the bone, right? There are the many bone. We know all the bones like cranial bone, maxilla, mandible, cervical vertebra. We have the viscera like brain and spinal cord. We have the salivary glands. We have the lacrimal glands and the tongue. We have the vasculature that is supplying to head and neck region. That is the your carotid system and vertebro-basilar system. Then we have the cranial and the spinal nerves, lymphatics, right? So we all know that clinically head and neck region are the key part of the physical examination of the range of the medical conditions, right? And the head and neck are easily accessible to palpate and conduct further examination, especially the neurological examination. So for this we just divide the head region into the areas actually, right? So we have the unpaired areas or regions and we have the paired regions. Like in the unpaired regions we have the frontal region. So this is the frontal region, right? We have the occipital region. This is the occipital region. We have the nasal region. We have the oral region and we have the mental region. So these are the unpaired regions which we included onto the both side, and we have the paired regions that is your parietal region. So this is the parietal region. We have the temporal region. We have the mastoid regions, right? We have the auricular regions. We have the orbital regions, we have the buccal region and we have the parotid region. Also we have the zygomatic region. So these are the regions we divided the head into many parts. Then we all know this, we will discuss many time the bones of the neurocranium and what are the structures. So we don't go into the detail into this. We also now the landmarks. So these are the important, the bony landmarks are the followings. We have the first, if we see, that is A, that is the glabella, and we know all the area between the eyebrow, that is the glabella. Then we have the B, that is the superciliary arches, which is the prominence on the medial side of the eyebrow. Then we have the C, that is the hair line in the border of the growth of the hair on the scalp and the temple. Then we have the D, that is the zygoma, and that is the prominence of the cheek. Then we have the F, that is the angle of the mandible. Then we have the base of the mandible. Then H1 is the your symphysis menti. So these are the regions we all know about these areas, right? Then we also have this region, that is the M, and that is the suprasternal notch. This is the notch on the superior border of the manubrium sterni. We also have the many other regions also, like we all know about the pterion, asterion, inion, lambda, bregma, right? So you will know about these things. Now we have important structure, like we have this reed space line, Frankfurt horizontal plane, and the longitudinal fissure. So if we see, that is the reed baseline. So this A and B you can see. So that is your reed space. It is a line along the lower margin of the orbit. So this is the lower margin of the orbit, right, to the upper border of the external acoustic meatus. So this is the external acoustic meatus, upper border of the external acoustic meatus. Then we have the Frankfurt horizontal plane, and this is the plane along the infraorbital margin through the midpoint of the external acoustic meatus. So this is little bit difference between the Reed's baseline and the Frankfurt horizontal plane, right? So after that we also see there is a coronal suture into this in the line from the bregma and the center of the zygomatic bone on the both sides. So coronal suture is the line from the bregma and center of the zygomatic arch on the both sides, right? Then we also have the sagittal suture, we also have the lambdoid suture, right? So these are the sutures we also know into the your skull, right? Then we have the parotid gland, right? So in the parotid gland we can see the parotid gland, it is lies onto the side of the face, so it light appears the tetradraon के जैसे ये है, and that is the superior border, it is along to the lower margin of the posterior two-third of the zygomatic arch. Then posterior border, it runs in front of the external acoustic meatus and the mastoid process. Then the anterior border of the sternocleidomastoid, so this is the sternocleidomastoid. Then anterior border is a span that is over the masseter muscle for a variable distance. So this is the landmark of the parotid gland. Then we have the parotid duct. So this is the line, we can see the parotid line duct, so which we can define as a line that is extending from the external acoustic meatus, that is point A, then to a point midway between the ala of the nose and the lateral angle of the mouth. So this is the lateral angle of the mouth and ala of the nose. So इन दोनों के बीच से एक लाइन यहाँ पे point B draw करेंगे. Then middle 1/3 of this line of the your parotid duct. Here we also know it pierces the buccinator to open into the vestibule of the mouth at the level of the second molar teeth, right? So these are the structure like parotid gland and the duct. Now we have the sinuses. So in the sinus, that is the maxillary sinus. Here we can see the maxillary sinus. So that is sinus which is important, like it is a quadrilateral in shape. It has points like point A, that is onto the lacrimal tubercle. Then we have the point B, that is junction of the lateral and inferior margin of the orbit. Then we have the point C, that is the point on the upper last molar into the maxilla. Then we have the point D, that is the point on the upper second premolar into the maxilla. So these are the marking of the, if we join these four areas, then this is the marking of the maxillary sinus. Now very important structure, that is the facial artery. So facial artery we can see that is along the base of the mandible at the anteroinferior border of the masseter, right? So this is marked by 3.5 centimeter anterior to the angle of the mandible. So this is the angle of mandible, right? So this is 3.5 centimeter anterior to the angle of mandible, that is point A, and point A point the 1.2 centimeter lateral to the angle of the mouth, right? So this is the point B. Then we have the angle of the eye, point C, and we just give a tortuous course of point A, point B and point C, that is our facial artery. Now we have the facial vein. It is marked as a straight line just behind the facial artery, जो हमने marking बताई. So that is the your facial vein. We also know the facial artery is palpated regularly by the anesthetist for a pulsation which indicate the blood flow. Hence that is also known as the anesthetist artery. The cosmetic surgeons जो होते हैं, they inject filter near the angle of the eye, right, for filling and shaking tear through the through which the increase with the age. So during this process, care should be taken not to enter into the facial artery at the angle of the eye, as the filler can act as emboli and they by the जो posterior flow या retrograde flow can block the central artery of the retina and it will leads to the complete blindness. So that is very important to know how this artery is and also we also know the cosmetic surgeon are also giving injections or fillers near the nasolabial folds for increasing the length of the lips or the thickness of the lips. So that is also very important to take care of this artery, right? Now we have the external jugular vein, right? So the external jugular vein, we can see the point A and point B. So external jugular vein, point A at the angle of the mandible, right, and point B at the middle of the clavicle. So we just join this line, and this is our external jugular vein. External jugular vein is also very important. It needs to identify it in order to visualize two levels of the pulsation of the jugular venous pressure management, and that jugular venous pressure gains its importance to the understand the status of the your right atrium, like, and it is of importance in disease like जैसे मान लो किसी को pulmonary hypertension है, right, tricuspid regurgitations हैं, right, तो एंड ऑल्सो द कॉन्स्ट्रिक्टिव पेरिकार्डाइटिस है, तो उनके अंदर ये इसका प्रोमिनेंस और एक्सटर्नल जुगुलर वेन को मार्क करना इम्पोर्टेंट है, राइट. देन वी हैव द इंटरनल जुगुलर वेन. So this is the internal jugular vein, a point behind the angle of the mandible. So this is the behind the angle of the mandible. Then another point at the sternal end of the clavicle, and we just join these 2 points. So these are this is the condition for your internal jugular vein, right. Then we have the pulsations, that is very important. In the face we have to pulsate the many arteries over this, right. So at the temple we pulsate the 2 artery, that is the anterior division of the temporal artery, and this is the how we palpate the temporal artery, right. Then we have palpate here the facial artery right here. So we just palpate the facial artery right here at the angle of the anterior to the angle of the mandible and the masseter, right. Then we have this carotid pulsations right here. So we just palpate the carotid artery right here. Then what are this carotid artery? Carotid artery, we know all, we have the 3 carotids, like this common carotid, then it will bifurcate into the external carotid and the internal carotid. So if we see the common carotid, a point at the medial end of the clavicle, and B at the point at the upper border of the thyroid cartilage along with the anterior border of the sternocleidomastoid. Then we just join the point A and point B, that is the common carotid. Then we have the external carotid. So external carotid, a point at the upper border of the thyroid cartilage along with the anterior border of the sternocleidomastoid, right, and a point between the mastoid process and the angle of mandible, right, and we just join these 2. So this is our external carotid artery. Then we have this internal carotid artery. So external carotid artery is this artery, right, and this is the internal carotid artery. Internal carotid artery, we can mark the point at the upper border of the thyroid cartilage along with the anterior border of the sternocleidomastoid. Then we mark a point on the posterior border of the mandible. So this is the posterior border of the mandible. Then mandible condyle. So this is the internal carotid, and internal carotid obviously present deep, so it is not superficially so much giving importance, right. But the common carotid artery, it is used to palpate for the pulsation, and it can be felt at the level of the cricoid cartilage, right. So between the larynx and the sternocleidomastoid muscle, the pulsation is felt for the diagnosis of your cardiac valvular जो disease है उनके लिए, trauma to confirm the death. So the common carotid artery is also located to compress during the massive hemorrhage into the scalp and to prevent the blood loss, right? And the compression is done against the your anterior tubercle of the C6 cervical vertebra. So that is very important. And we also know in the cadavers we give the cannulation for the embalming into this common carotid artery, right? Then we have the middle meningeal artery. In the middle meningeal artery, we can see we this just mark the middle meningeal artery, the trunk, then the anterior border and the posterior division, right? Or the posterior. So we have the trunk, anterior division, and the posterior division. So trunk is marked by point A at the preauricular point. So this is the preauricular point. Point B 2 centimeter above it, right? And A and B where the meet the. So this is the trunk of the middle meningeal artery. Then we have the anterior division. Anterior division is point A onto the point from the point B. We have the point D onto the pterion. So this is the point on the pterion. Then point on the midpoint of the line connecting the inion and the nasion. So inion and nasion के बीच में जो line connecting उसका जो midpoint है वहाँ पे करेंगे. So this is the anterior division. Then we have the posterior division. Posterior division a point at the superior attachment of the auricle. So this is the superior attachment of the auricle and point onto the lambda. So this is the your posterior division. So we have the middle meningeal artery. So middle meningeal artery which is having the trunk, anterior division and the posterior division, right? And we also know the middle meningeal artery is approached through the area of the pterion in order to control the extradural hemorrhage, and usually the extradural hemorrhage is due to the rupture of the middle meningeal artery. Now we have this gland, that is the thyroid gland. So thyroid gland having the parts like isthmus, and we have the lateral lobes, right? So isthmus, it is a line drawn 1 centimeter above the arch of the cricoid cartilage, right? Then another line which is drawn 2 centimeter below the arch of the cricoid cartilage. So cricoid cartilage के 2 centimeter नीचे और 1 centimeter ऊपर हम एक line draw करेंगे. The space between the two line is marked as a isthmus, right? Then we have these lateral lobes. The lateral lobes, the point along the anterior border of the sternocleidomastoid at the level of the laryngeal prominence. So this is the laryngeal prominence, right? So and point 2.5 centimeter below and lateral to the lower border of the isthmus of the thyroid gland, right? And point 1 centimeter below to the lateral end of the lower end of the isthmus of the thyroid gland. So अगर इन तीनों को हम जोड़ते हैं, so these are the lateral lobe, right? And इसकी भी बहुत importance है that we know the thyroid swellings like in the goiter, it's the most common swelling in the midline of the neck, right? So thyroid gland can be palpated between the two sternocleidomastoid muscles up to the level of the thyroid cartilage. Isthmus of thyroid cartilage is usually very important for retraction in order to assess to trachea for the emergency procedures like tracheostomy, and the location of isthmus also helps into the your incision ki whoever will give the incision for the tracheostomy, right? So this is about your thyroid. Now we have the submandibular gland. So this is the submandibular gland. In the submandibular gland we have the point below to the angle of the mandible, right? Send the point between the angle of the mandible and the symphysis menti, that is point B. Then a point between the 1.5 centimeter above to the angle of the mandible, that is point C. And we have the point D, that is the point near the posterior end of the tip of the cornu of the hyoid bone. So that is the point D. So if we just give some अगर इनको सबको मिला दिया जाए तो दैट इज योर सबमैंडिबुलर ग्लैंड, राइट. Then we have the very important structure like your suprameatal triangle, right. So this is the suprameatal triangle which is very important. So suprameatal triangle को कैसे हम करते हैं कि a line that is above the posterior root of the zygomatic arch. So this is the posterior root of the zygomatic arch. Then a tangent line to the posterior border of the your external acoustic meatus. So this is the line onto the posterior border of the external acoustic meatus. Then we have a one perpendicular line, that is line along the posterior border of the external acoustic meatus, right. So इन तीनों के बीच में ये वाला जो एरिया होगा, that is your suprameatal triangle, right. And the suprameatal triangles, we all know that forms the lateral wall of the mastoid antrum, and this can be felt as a triangular depression through the, this is the comba conchae, right, simba conchae of the external layer, and this is used to gain access to the mastoid antrum during the surgical debridement of the mastoid abscess. So this is very important, that is the McVen's triangle या इसको suprameatal triangle भी बोलते हैं, right. Then we have the subclavian vessel. So subclavian vessels, that is marked onto the sternoclavicular joint, that is point A, then middle of the lower border of the clavicle, then point B, and we just 2 centimeter above to the clavicle, midway between the A and B. So this is our subclavian vessels. The subclavian vein lies within the concavity of the artery. So, and we also know that these subclavian vein and artery, these are very important. The subclavian vein is very commonly that is catheterized to monitor your central venous pressure, like so the pressure of the right atrium. And we also insert the chemotherapy, and we also gave that permanent dialysis catheters to this, right. So this is very important for the giving to the drugs during dialysis, right. And long term drugs like cancers की जो drugs हैं वो भी इसके through. So central line डालने के लिए that is the very important vein. So this is the right subclavian में mostly डालते हैं, right. Then we have radiology of head and neck region. So in the radiology of head and neck region, we know the head and neck region, we have the radiographs of head and neck region that is taken anterior-posteriorly. Then we have the lateral radiographs, that is called as the right and left lateral. Then we have the superior and the submento-vertical radiographs, right. We have the anterior oblique radiographs, we have the posterior oblique radiographs, and we have the lateral oblique view of the radiographs. So these are the radiological radiographs views, right. So in this we can see the plane radiograph of the AP view, right. We can see the many things into this. So we have the shadow of the orbit. So we can see this is the shadow of the orbit, which is very commonly seen. Then we have the sinuses. We can see the sinuses. We have this here. We can see the outer and the inner table of the skull vault, right. Then we have this sinus. This is your frontal air sinus right here. So we can see this is the frontal air sinuses, right. Then we have the ethmoidal air sinuses. So this is the ethmoidal air sinuses. We have this nasal septum, right. So this is the nasal septum. We have these conchaes. So इसमें जो better दिख रहा है, this is our inferior nasal concha, we can see, right. Then we have this on the side of the maxilla. We can see this is the maxillary air sinuses, So these are the maxillary air sinuses. We can also see this is the mandible, this is the maxilla, and in the maxilla we can see these radio opacity, that is the opacity for the your denture. Then we have this lateral view. So in this view we can see the here we can appreciate the two tables of the bone, that is, and in between there is a diploe, and this is the sinus, that is the frontal air sinus, right? We have the orbit right here, then we have the maxillary air sinus right here, then we have this pituitary fossa, this is the pituitary fossa, that below to the pituitary fossa there is a sphenoidal air sinuses. Then we have this external acoustic meatus right here in the pittrus part. This is the pittrus part of the temporal bone. Then we have this radiolucent filled this thing, that is your mastoid air cells. Then we have this posterior arch of the atlas. This is the posterior arch of the atlas, and we can also mark this is one, and this is the dens, right? So you just take a picture and you just mark all these area which I have told you into this, right? So this is your homework. Now we have another view, that is the Waters view, right? So in the Waters view we also known as that is also the occipitomental view, and this is the view where the beam is transmitted into the 45 angulation to the orbitomeatal plane. So the rays are passing at the right angle of the radiographic plate. This view can taken for visualization of your paranasal sinuses, right? Then orbit, odontoid process of the axis just below to the symphysis mandible, ये सब चीज़ें आपको इसमें अच्छे से दिखती हैं. Like this is your Waters view. We can see this is the anterior cranial fossa, and into the anterior cranial fossa we have this is we have the frontal sinuses. Then we have the orbit right here, right? Then we have the in the middle cranial fossa, that is into this is your maxillary air sinuses. You can see we have the incisor teeth, right? So this is how we will take the Waters, and that is very important for seeing of the air sinuses, all the air sinuses, right? Then we have this is the radiology of the neck. So this is the posterior view. It is taken study for your cervical part of the vertebral column, atlanto-occipital joints, atlanto-axial joint, intervertebral disc spaces, air-filled spaces like oral cavity, pharynx, trachea, etc. इनको देखने के लिए हम क्या देखते हैं? Radiology of the neck. Then this is the posterior view, right? So this is the lateral view of your neck, and in which we can identify the odontoid process right here. We have the posterior arch of the atlas. Then we have the body of the axis. So this is the body of the axis. We have the spinous process of the axis vertebra. So this is the spinous process of the axis vertebra. Then we have the C3 and C4 bodies of C3, this is C4, C5, here we can see these. We have, this is the mandible. We have the little right here. So this is your hyoid bone, and we have the teeth area. So this is how we see into the lateral view of your neck. Then this is, we can see this is the carotid angiography, right? So carotid angiography actually क्या होता है? It is a procedure in which the catheter is introduced into the superficial vessels into the upper and lower limb. Like या तो हम radial artery में डाल देते हैं, या फिर हम किस में डालते थे अपने femoral artery में, right? So into the for guiding into the level of the carotid arteries with help of the radiographic guide, and then a contrast material introduced into the internal carotid artery through a catheter and radiograph are taken. And this is obviously invasive procedure, but it is painless and for determine to the blockage of the arterial lumen, right? So this is your carotid angiography. Then we can also see this is anteroposterior view, this is the anteroposterior view, right? And this is the lateral into the your carotid on the one side, right? एक side के this is the your internal carotid artery, and internal carotid artery then further divided into the many branches. Then we have this shalography. Shalography is a procedure in which the radiographic examination of the salivary glands and the salivary ducts is made after introducing a radio-opaque dye into the duct of the salivary gland, right? So how we will do that? We plain radiograph of the face parotid submandibular is taken to rule out of the any radio-opaque stone into the salivary gland. पहले इसमें डाल के and then we have a fine cannula is inserted into the opening of the duct using a lacrimal duct probe to guiding the cannula. Then a radiographic dye is injected, which is also the water soluble, and then then we have to take a radiograph for preferably lateral view लेते हैं कि उसके अंदर आपको जैसे कि ये आपको डक्ट सिस्टम दिखाई दे रहा है ग्लैंड्स में, राइट? और ये कैथेटर यहाँ से हमने मेन पैरोटिड डक्ट में यहाँ से हमने ये डाई इंट्रोड्यूस कर लिया, राइट? एंड दिस इज द गाइड टू द इंसर्ट ऑफ द कैथेटर, right? And what are the indication for that? Like into the parotid we have to, if we want to see the parotid swelling, to diagnose of the obstruction caused by the stone or the tumor into the duct, right? And to assess the branching pattern of the duct system, and to assess the functioning of the salivary gland. And what are the contraindications? contraindication में अगर anteriorly placed कोई calculi है तो उसमें नहीं देते हैं, एलर्जी है कॉन्ट्रास्ट मीडियम से, या इम्पेयर्ड फंक्शन लाइक बहुत ही एक्सट्रीम थायराइड फंक्शंस हैं, एंड अगर कोई एक्यूट इन्फेक्शन है salivary glands का, तो दैट इज द योर contraindications. So these are the different kind of the X-ray. Then we can also see these are the CT scan, you can see here, right? So in this view we can see these are the ethmoidal air cells. We have the concha right here. Then we have this is the maxillary antrum, we can see onto the lateral side, right? So this is how we assess to this. We have also can see your inferior nasal concha. This is the middle nasal concha. So these are the structure we can see. Then we have this is the neck axial. So we can also determine into this is the nasal concha. Then we have on the side we have this maxillary air sinuses, right? Then we have this third number, this is the nasal septum. Then we on the fourth, that is your middle meningeal artery, which is very thin. Then we have the internal carotid artery. This is the internal carotid artery. Then we have the right here on the posterior aspect we have the basilar artery, right? And we can see also this is the pons, right? And on the lateral side of the pons we have the middle cerebral peduncles, right? So these are the structure we can see very easily, right? Then we also see into the MRI of these structure. So we also see this is the maxillary sinuses onto the this side and this side, right? Then we have the ethmoidal air sinuses. This is the ethmoidal, and this is the nasal septum, right? We have right here the trigeminal nerve, right? Then we have the, this is on the side, this is the head of the mandible, right? And this is ये commonly asked question है. So this is your temporalis muscle, right? And this is your masseter muscle. Okay, thank you so much.